and welcome to UC Today. My name is Kieran Devlin and today's session is Empowering the Channel with Voca. I'm delighted to be joined by Paul Taylor, Chief Commercial Officer at Voiceflex. Paul, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Before we explore exactly how we can empower the channel with Voca, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, Paul, and the work you do with Voiceflex?
Certainly. As you said, my name's Paul Taylor. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer at Voiceflex. Voiceflex as an organisation started in 2005 and I was there when we started. So theoretically I was employee number one, and since then we've gone on to build a very, very successful SIP based application. So we've always been cloud based, and over the years we've tried a number of different products and we continue to develop new products and bring new products to our channel. And our channel now stands at over 1,000 partners.
Well, so almost 20 years, then I think you're perfectly positioned with that level of experience and expertise to can I ask you to pick your brain then? What are you seeing in the key trends in the channel in 2024 across, the decades of experience you have here? It must be a really interesting time to just identify the trends that are really affecting the channel now.
Yeah, quite right. I think the channel's very, very interesting anyway, because it tends to redevelop itself with new products, new applications, new routes forward. I mean, if you look at the voice side of it, we've gone from basically analog lines or PSTN to ISDN circuits, and then we're on to SIP, and now sort of SIP is probably going to start declining. So we're down to cloud-based only applications. So we've seen the big turnaround from on-prem. The majority of business is moved into UC, and now we're moving into UCaaS. So the development in the market, we see that especially for this year, is that people are really starting to aggressively move customers away from old technology and doing a base migration across to the new technology which is out there, which predominantly is UCaaS.
And that brings us on to the topic at hand today, Voca, and why exactly it is so powerful for the channel. But before we explore those ramifications, can you please tell us, in your perspective, what exactly is Voca?
Voca covers two different things. It's what we call conversational IVR, number one, and the second is it's an occasional contact centre to connect into Microsoft Teams, and Microsoft Teams only. It won Best CX Platform with Microsoft for the connection in there. So when we look at different product sets within the marketplace, we have to be mindful where next year or the year after the profit margin's coming from. Now, less and less people are actually using the phone to make voice calls. So we know that sort of voice and the way the technology uses voice is declining. UC Today wrote a fantastic piece on WebRTC, and it's going to be valued at $60 billion by 2028. And so we as an organisation and the channel as an industry need to work out where we're going to go to get that money in the future. So over the last couple of years, we've been doing quite a lot of research on markets from around the world, and we probably look at 2 to 3 different products a month, and we take on probably one every 6 months. So Voca comes out the audio code stable, and we're very, very in tune with those guys. The reason it works well is purely and simply because we are a carrier at heart. So we're moving from a telco to a techco slowly but surely. So when you look at a product like Voca, when we say conversational IVR, because we own the numbers for the customers on our platform, and this can cover any telephony application out there in the marketplace, somebody might phone up and said, I want to get the results of my X-ray. So which department would that be? Would it be radiography? Would it be a different department? And what we do is look at all the connotations of somebody getting an X-ray and put all the different connotations that you can put in there, and then it will deliver it to that department. So there's an instant satisfaction for the customer because they're getting through to the right department. There's an instant satisfaction for the business because they're not transferring people from the wrong department to a different department or asking them to call back in. And so you get a lot more customer satisfaction and get return on investment. So at its heart, it sounds like a very, very simple product. But when you expand it of the ability that it's got across all platforms, it becomes very, very saleable as an application.
I think I'm asking you to expand a little on that, and thank you for the level of detail, but I'm really curious just to dig even further into the nitty gritty on how exactly Voca works and why specifically you guys are so excited to collaborate with channel partners on it.
There's two parts to the question. The first one is we've got to be jumping on the Teams bandwagon because we do a session called Threat or Opportunity, and it's definitely an opportunity. A lot of people that are using Microsoft Teams, it's a fantastic product. The UC element of it is phenomenal, and it's got the biggest market share in the world by far. However, the voice connectivity around it probably isn't the best in the world. So we can see a CFO saying, right, I'm going for Teams because it's cost effective, get rid of all that voice element we've got in the portfolio, and then you've got an option where you put direct routing on or operator connect, but it still doesn't do the nitty gritty that certain telephony applications do. So this is where Voca puts that middle layer, very, very cost effective middle layer, and actually can be an occasional contact center. Not everybody would use the term contact center, but it does everything around it. But it also, if somebody's moving from a PABX across the Teams, Voca will actually span across both applications. So one day it might be routing through to a telephony application, the next day it's routing through to Teams. So it can actually cover the bandwidth between the two different applications. And then when I said about the conversational IVR, what we do is we sell SIP trunks to all intents and purposes and some UC applications as well. To differentiate ourselves, if somebody, sales guy, can go in with Voca and the benefits that it provides, but it needs to be put on a Voiceflex SIP trunk, that organisation's probably got far more chance to get in it against our competitors because they don't resell Voca, so they can't expand on the applications they can do. And we always say you only get one opportunity to make a first impression. So any new organisation phoning your business wants to be treated exceptionally well.
And I'd really like to move on to the specifics of what Voiceflex specifically can offer partners and customers. You know, I was reading about a really compelling AI-powered recording solution you guys have developed. Can you please tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, I mean, the product's called Leucy. It's a French product, which is phenomenal. So it's got direct connection into Microsoft Teams and also Televox, which is our UC application of choice, and it also connects into 3CX. So what it does, you could be in a meeting like this and it listens in, it's there all the time. At the end of the meeting, it gives you an AI generated story of the meeting, what actually happened, breaks it into chapters, and also gives you a summary at the end of it. It can be recorded, so you can go back to it. If, let's say, for instance, I was on holiday last week, and there's a management meeting took place. I wasn't there, but because I'm included in the invite, I can actually see that meeting and go through the whole meeting notes. I can even look at the video to see exactly what went on. The other thing is it saves the world because you do not need paper anymore. So I've had 3 meetings this morning, 2 with internal sales, 1 external, and what actually happens is I didn't have to write anything down. I didn't have to do any notes. I didn't have to do anything. So again, your return on investment is more or less immediately, because if you work out how long you actually take to write notes up, you've just made it there. So it's part of with Voca, probably our 2 pushing products, which has been for the last couple of months. We also launched a product called WhatsApp for Business, which we call Omnichannel. And so we're sort of empowering the channel to actually look at different opportunities within there, the products that everybody needs, they don't necessarily have heard about on a regular basis. But what it does is create other sales opportunities for the resellers, so they can go in with very, very sticky products. So, you know, we are really moving to a techco house as opposed to a pure telco.
Yeah, it's exciting times. It's really interesting that you guys have really identified the potential of omni-channel communications and the importance of all the various AI features that can come with conversations and recordings. I guess one final question before I let you go, Paul, is what is Voiceflex's roadmap looking like for the next 12 months? I understand you guys have a couple other really intriguing AI-based offerings on the cards.
As I said, you know, we look at a lot of products on a monthly basis as a management, but we only take on a couple of products. So there's others in the pipeline which we're thinking about, but basically when we take a product on, we know it's going to be 2 years before it's a mass adaptation in the marketplace. So when we took on Televox under our own name Flow, which is completely white labelled. We took that on in March 22, and it took a long time to actually build that market up. But now we're getting customers who looked at the product 2 years ago, decided it wasn't for them, now they're actually coming back to it. So the next 12 months is very interesting because we've launched these products. We need to sort of stabilise and actually continue to actually sell those products into that marketplace. For our channel partners to get used to selling them, to get some good use cases, and to then start moving it forward with it. It's very much about the automation. So we've created within our carrier base an automation level. So somebody can say, right, okay, I'm connecting to Teams, I'll do it this way. But I can put Voca as an application within there, I can put Leucy as an application within there, or I can put WhatsApp as business in there. So you've got 3 unique applications in the marketplace, which to be fair, nobody else has got as far as we're concerned. And the reseller, they can pick or choose because they're all cloud based. So it gives them the opportunity to move it forward. So, I mean, Voca, Leucy and WhatsApp for Business are loosely based around technology because you still need a number that comes into it. And where we tie those all together, so for instance, when you're using Voca, the occasional IVR, so it comes in and says, hi, thanks for calling, there's a 10-minute wait for sales, either stop on the line to speak to sales or press 1 to be connected to a WhatsApp call. Goes through to WhatsApp, identifies it's a call, boom, then you're actually dealing with that person, either text messages going backwards and forwards, instead of them waiting for the voice. And I think it's very important that it's the choice of the individual how they contact with an organisation, and not the organisation how they dictate how they need to be speaking to as a customer. Because we might be on a call like this, I could have been on hold for an institution, then put the call down, then I started again. I could have turned it to WhatsApp call, and that was my moment of choice to actually do it. So I think it's a really, really exciting place to actually be in the channel in general. Obviously, we all know that the PSTN switch has been moved another couple of years, but that's life. It's up to BT what they want to do with that. So I think we're just going to carry on with that and actually say, right, okay, what are the new products coming onto the market, which is going to make our lives a lot more easier, and is also going to give the ability for our channel to actually earn margin out of it as well.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I think it's almost like a specific mindset, and in a way the PSTN switch date moving, and from a certain perspective it doesn't change if the process of digital transformation that organisations are undergoing in a sense. So yeah, I think that's a really positive outlook to take on it. I think that's all we've got time for today, but it's been a really good session, so thank you, Paul, for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share on social media, and we'll see you next time. I've been Kieran Devlin of UC Today. Thanks for watching.